like to have some kind of guidelines where we can be able to tell people what we're going to be doing on our community center, and how much it's going to be rented out for. You know, been questioned about that. We need some guidelines on that.
I think that is already available to see Mr. Lewis, and he has that already.
And one other thing, I'll finish. I had talked to Lester about it earlier. We have a little problem up at the park that we need to attend to. Some graffiti and all up there that some parents are calling and complaining about.
What is this now?
Up at our park by the swimming pool. I've called and talked to Lester about it.
Okay,
and it's
that's Davis Park.
No, Murphy's Park.
Yeah, about one message about those slides.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I have, man.
Okay. Councilwoman Betty Johnson.
I have two things, Mayor. The first thing here I want to look at is to see if the council can. I know the summer is fast and approaching on us, and I know we've been having situations where we have issues sometimes with fights and things that goes on in the park. You know, especially I know Juneteenth will be coming up soon in June. Is there any way we can look at some things, and I know we do with speed tickets. If you caught speeding in the school zone, the fine is double. Is there anything that we can look at to say, well, if we have an altercation, have a fight, they're fighting in the park, public property, up in that park facility, well, those fines or whatever going through the courts will be doubled over. Because those kids, you have those kids who are there, children are playing, parents got their children there, and to try to stop some of this mayhem from happening.
That's something that we probably need to look at. We'll get with our attorneys and ask them to review that and to advise us on it. I think that's a real good idea.
And the other one there, Skipper, how's Walgreens? Anything else with Walgreens?
I have not heard anything from Walgreens in 6 months ready. So I don't know. I can only assume that they are pulled out. I'm not 100% sure, but I have not heard anything from them. I understand that another person has purchased the old Hubble House property. They plan to renovate it into offices. And that was part of Walgreens, part they were going to purchase.
I don't have anything.
Just a couple of things. First of all, it's not a miracle, but it's the closest thing that I can see each and every year. It's the Sunday after the Catfish Festival, when Winsboro is almost, you can't even tell that there's been a festival and 20,000 people in our city the day before. So to all the guys and girls in the city that do that, and our police department that help keep it safe, just kudos. It's just, it's amazing. Secondly, Mr. Mayor, I brought up last week, and I passed, or last month rather, I passed an ordinance that deals with indecent exposure, and I asked that we revisit. So if it's okay, I'd like to just take a few moments to revisit that particular ordinance, because I had heard from business owners that had an issue with that. And since that meeting, I've talked to business owners and others that deal with this on a somewhat regular basis. And there seemed to be a lot of interest. However, one person is here out of the group that I spoke to. But the general consensus is what can, and I guess I'm directing this to Chief Thomas, what can business owners do? What should they do? What steps should they take when a violation is occurring on their property?
What they can do, Craig, is they can file a formal complaint like they do with shoplifting, get a warrant, we'll arrest them. Now, we have been enforcing the violation, but the problem is, unfortunately, we're not everywhere in the city now, and we're looking at a different approach on handling it, because as the officer patrol down the street, of course, we don't see this. They get them up, but as soon as the car passes by, they're back down, and we are aware of this. So we're looking at some things now to try to fix the problem and to get the word out that we are doing it. They know we're doing it, but as soon as we patrol by, they come back down. As far as in the community, as far as in the stores and different places, just do the same thing we do like with the shoplifters. Get an affidavit, get a sign, we charge them with it.
You know, I had an opportunity out, we was traveling, and I think we was in Vidalia, and had one of the stores there, the same they have on shirts and shoes, they had sagging pants. If your pants are sagging, no service, you don't come in here. And so I know that's tough for him, for once they call, they get them pulled up and all like that, but maybe that's one option to add in there, where they don't receive any services, they come in with pants and sagging.
One of the benefits of that also is that they can then they can be charged with trespassing, because it's no longer a matter of whether or not they had them down or not. It's a matter of the business owner has asked them to leave the premises.
Well, you just need to be standing in the business whenever they come in. Is that none of that? That's all said and good, but that's not going to happen, because it's just like with a shoplifter. By the time you call to get somebody there, they're gone. And to find out who they are, to get a name, to sign a warrant, to get them picked up, it's a needle in a haystack.
Put your life in jeopardy.
Whether or not it's not putting your life in jeopardy, they're going to be gone. It's just like a shoplifter. They're gone. Yeah, they're gone. So,
but maybe we can look at setting up like, some of those hot spots like those, like I know sometimes the troopers hit Winsboro and get those on those seat belts. Maybe we can have a blitz one weekend or something like that, and we set up a checkpoint, and we purposely to get it on their minds that we're serious about this ordinance, about enforcing this. Without them expecting, we just hit those areas right there that we know that we have that high traffic of, they're doing that. That's something just to think of. And then, to set up a good checkpoint.
You know, I think it's going to come right back to, our area of patrol is basically, the same size, Vidalia's area is. But when you look at the number of police officers that are patrolling Vidalia, it cuts the response time down. Now, I understand what you're saying, that when you call for a police officer, that looks like it takes forever, and the person that committed the offense is long gone. If we could ever reach the stage that we could, Chief and I talked about it.
Yes.
That we could ever establish a zone, for police officers that allow them to operate and patrol within that zone. Then anything that happens within that zone, they could respond to, in a like fashion. But as long as we've got just a few police officers patrolling this big city, it's going to make it very difficult for a response time and for to be able to actually catch a person who has committed those crimes. So it's something that maybe we can look at and discuss during the budgetary period and see where we stand.
how many city police officers do we have working a shift?
2.
How many city? 2?
Just have 9 total.
Oh.
2 on each shift.
Chief, is there any way that surveillance cameras can be put in these stores? Or do you have surveillance cameras in your stores that will clearly show the individual and their attire at this time?
We
And
do
if-
have surveillance cameras, but there again, good luck in trying to find the fellow once it's done and he's out the door.
I think most of the officers in the area pretty well know most of the people that that in the areas in which they patrol, so they'd be able to to identify them if it's clear enough, and if these cameras are used randomly in different stores. But my major concern is how well does this type of evidence hold up in court, Chief?
It holds up well. I mean, it's on video. It's just like the real thing. But the problem we have about the videos, only probably I would say 50% of the stores have them. If that many.
Do you have one or have access to some that could be utilized and just move randomly from store to store, different stores and certain things?
Not for a store application, I doubt.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Okay. There being, is there anyone else who would like to address the council? Then I declare this council meeting closed.